Amy with Lulu Bean Designs. How are y'all doing tonight? I am so excited to be live with y'all for our March paint party for the SVG Clubhouse. So if you are joining me tonight, then come on in and say hello and comment. Sometimes our live videos don't, well, they show up in the group, but like people just don't really see them in the algorithm. And I tried tagging everybody this morning. But if you are watching, then please comment and say hello, because the more comments that you put in the post, then the more everybody else in the club will see that I'm live and will see the video. So I see somebody saying hello. Okay, now I will tell y'all, I am normally when I go live to several different places at the same time. So I'm live on my page, I'm live on YouTube, I'm live in a couple of groups. But tonight I am only in the SVG Clubhouse group because this video is just for y'all. Y'all are the only ones who get to watch this particular project. So since you're all watching from a group, I will tell you that I cannot see your name when you comment unless you allow StreamYard permission. So like right now I see a comment that says, hello, Amy. And all it's Facebook user. So I can't see your profile picture. It just says Facebook user. It doesn't tell me who you are. So make sure that you click the little button to allow permissions so I can see who you are. And if it continues to not work, I apologize. That's just an issue between StreamYard and Facebook. Facebook does not like third-party apps. They don't really want you using third-party apps. Hey, Penny, how are you? Okay, yeah, I don't know why it just says Facebook user. I don't know if you have a little pop-up or anything that you need to allow permissions. But yeah, Facebook doesn't allow third-party apps. Well, they allow it. They don't like third-party apps, which, you know, StreamYard is considered a third-party app. So they want you to use their own features. They want you to go live straight on Facebook. That would be fine if they had some ability for an overhead camera and the split screen. I don't see that. I don't see that they have the capability for that. So maybe one day they will, and then, you know, it won't be an issue anymore. But for now, it is what it is. So, okay, let me jump into the project. Oh, wait, before I do that, let me welcome our new members. So welcome if you're new. I'm so glad that you decided to join our club. I know that you're going to have so much fun in here with us. We do a lot of fun projects. We have a lot of really exciting stuff coming up for 2024 that I cannot wait to share with y'all. So I'm glad you're here, and I hope that you enjoy all the files. And if you're having any problems, feel free to comment in the group or shoot me an email at amy@lulubeandesigns.com, and I'll be happy to help you find what you are looking for. So without further ado, let me show you what we're painting tonight and explain to you what it is. So I put a post in the group, and y'all, sorry, there's a lot of shadows on here tonight. I think because I'm live at night, there's always like more shadows. So, and I have the ceiling fan going, which is making like a, you know, kind of a weird thing going on, but it's hot. I lost my train of thought. Okay, so sandwich boards. Is that what I was telling y'all? I swear, sometimes at this age, it's like squirrel, and then you just forget what you're talking about. Oh, I know what it was. so I put a post in the group, and I asked y'all what you wanted me to paint out of the 4 monthly projects. I said, hey, which of these projects do you want me to paint? Now, there were a couple of people who tried to add options at the bottom for a different project. And I'm sorry, I did remove those comments. No, you know, nothing against y'all, but I have to paint one of the projects for that month. So that's why those were the choices. I'm not just painting like a random project. So the sandwich board was hands down the winner, and I had a couple of people that were asking me how the sandwich board worked. So I'm going to show you the mechanism. I'm going to show you like the base piece. So this is the sandwich board. Okay, so what a sandwich board is it's like a little chalk sign, supposed to look like an easel kind of thing. Like you would see it sitting on the sidewalk outside of a little cafe. It would have, you know, the daily specials on it, or whatever coffee they're serving that day, or maybe it's at a flower shop and it's got, you know, whatever flowers are on sale or just whatever. It's just like a cute little sign that would sit outside of a shop. The reason for the hole is so that you can reach your hand up through here and pop your little inserts out. Okay. So if you see how it's put together, now y'all, I painted this ages ago and I was doing a distressed kind of thing, but I got a little carried away with my distressing. I didn't do the greatest paint job. So y'all just excuse my chalkboard. Some of y'all might like that look. I think I got a little carried away with it personally. I never did paint the back, because really I just use this for staging to show y'all like the new ones that come out. So anyway, the two little side pieces just fit in there. You do just glue them in. Some people were asking, what about the top? So all I did was make sure the two top pieces touch. And again, don't look at the back, y'all. And here, we'll flip it over because that's ugly. So just make sure that the two pieces touch, and then you can put a bead of glue up here if you want to, just to help kind of secure it. But yeah, it goes together really easily. And I will show you tonight, of course, we're painting the Dragonfly Dreams insert. But I have a whole stack of inserts over here. So I'm going to show y'all some of the other ones that we've made. Now, some of these are Clubhouse files, and some of them are files that I have for sale in my shop. So I will try to remember which are which. This is a Clubhouse file from last fall. So when I make these, sorry, y'all, I'm doing this backwards, so I can't really see what I'm doing very well. They fit. I promise they fit in there. Hold on. I have to be looking at it. I can't see what I'm doing. There we go. So it just pops in there just like that. And really, people were saying, isn't it going to fall out because there's no glue or anything? It is not going to fall out. Like, it's in there. It stays in there very well. Honestly, you could pop it out really easily by just grabbing some of the pieces and just lifting it out. But you could also reach behind it and pop it out. So this is one of our fall ones we made last year. That's actually one of my favorites. I really like that one. And then we also made this football one. I'm pretty sure that this one is in my shop. So see, it just fits right in there. I don't think this was a Clubhouse file. So family, fall, and football, y'all. Okay, and then see, I'm just popping it out just like that. And then this was a bonus file last year. I don't think is that in there all the way? There we go. That's a birthday one. It was a bonus file last year. That's also one of my favorites. I just like the bright colors. Y'all know I like some bright colors. So there's that one. Super cute. This one I've had in my shop for a while. This is the sunflower one. Some of them I get right in there and some of them I don't. So the little sunflower in the truck that says, "Hey, sunshine." And then this is a fan favorite. Y'all, everybody loves this one. This one is a hot seller. So if you want to make one that is probably going to sell really well, the Let's Get Crafty one is very, very popular. That one's also fun to paint with all the cute little crafty things on there and the glue gun and everything. So cute. All right, I have a few more. No, I have two more. And then we'll get to painting the dragonfly one. All right, I keep saying that these are my favorite, and then I pull another one out, and I'm like, oh, no, this is my favorite. This one I can't get in there. There we go. Is it in there? I feel like it's in there. So this was a Christmas one this past Christmas that we made. I'm pretty sure this was a club file. I'm almost positive. Yeah, I think this is a club file. So you could purchase the past month's files. Now that you're a member, if you just joined and you were not aware, you can purchase past month's files in the membership portal. And those files are Clubhouse exclusive files for a year, and then they go up for sale in my shop. So there is the Welcome Peeps one. That is in my shop. That one we just painted recently. I did that one live. So anyway, that's some of the different ones that we have. So we're going to do the dragonfly one tonight. And I've got all my pieces laid here together. Now, for these dragonflies on the top, if you look at the, here, I should add the picture. Hold on one second. Let me add the one that Ingrid painted for me. Ingrid has been helping with my painting. So she painted, come on, let me find it. She painted the one that you have a picture of already for your marketing photos for March. She painted that one. So I'm going to pop that one up on the screen. March 2024. Here we go. Hang on one sec. Sorry. Okay, so I'll show you the difference between these dragonflies. Sorry, y'all, it's uploading. I always forget to upload pictures before I go live. I forget that we can pull pictures up during a live. Oh, come on. Why are you being so slow? So while it's loading, I will show you. I scored the lines on the dragonfly. I'll hold it up here so y'all can see. Is the overhead camera being like kind of slow for y'all, or is that just for me? It's being kind of slow and annoying. But I scored the lines on there. See that? Okay, now you can also do them layered, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. So Ingrid did them layered. See how there are, there's a solid layer and then a cutout layer. So you can do that if you want to for your dragonflies. There's a big one and a little one. So I just scored it because I was going to just use paint pens to paint mine tonight, but you can do it either way. So you have some options there. All right, so we're going to start with the back. And 99% of the time, I paint the sandwich boards black to look like a chalkboard. Penny, yes, it's working. I see your name. Okay, you'll have to share your secret. Tell everybody what you did because sometimes people can't find it. What worked for you so that I can see your name? I might be using some very well-loved paintbrushes tonight, y'all. These paintbrushes, my daughter and her friends were using them to paint outside. So just ignore my messy paintbrushes, but I need this big one. They need to be like deep cleaned. Oh, there's like dust on here or something. Okay, so I am going to paint over this now. It's going to cover up the score lines, but I can still see the score lines. Y'all may not be able to see on camera, but when the light hits it, I can see the lines. So I can still like know where to put everything. And you want to make sure that you line everything up pretty well on here because if you get your pieces in the wrong spot, like especially the pieces that attach to the bottom, then they may end up hitting those little side inserts in the base. Okay, let me show you what I mean. So like if you were to put these bunnies up too high and not put them on the score lines, then they might hit, they might hit that little thing and then it wouldn't fit in there, the little like slot pieces. Okay, do you see what I'm saying? So you definitely want to make sure that you put them on the score lines so they don't hit your little slot pieces. Hello, George. That is okay. Y'all can always watch these videos in the replay. You do not have to watch them live, but I love when you do because I love having people to chat with when I paint. So y'all, we are headed back to Virginia on Wednesday. So we are furiously trying to get the house packed up and, you know, closed up tight and everything put away and all of our wood cutouts cut that need to be shipped. My husband is down to, he had around 200 circles to cut yesterday, 200 for orders. And he is down to, I think when I left the garage, he was down to like 50 something. So he's doing pretty good. He's going to be up late tonight cutting. But we are going to get those orders out. So if you ordered some circles or some cutout kits or anything like that, we are working very hard to get those all done. All right, so I'm going to set this over here to dry because we're going to do a little bit of white over it to make it look like a chalkboard that has not been completely cleaned, because I just think that that looks cute. All right, so this is layered. There's 2 layers because I like for things to have some little 3D features. So you've got your back layer. So you don't need to paint the crate on that piece. You want to paint the crate on this piece. And y'all just ignore my wood because I've got some little nicks. Excuse me. Because y'all know, I've told y'all this before. I use my scraps to cut out stuff for myself. So if I've got like a piece that is not perfect, I use it to cut out stuff for my projects that I'm just going to, paint for myself or paint live or whatever, because usually it gets covered up when you paint it. So I'm not going to stress over it. All right, I'm going to use some territorial beige on here, and let me think. Oh, shoot. Uh-oh, y'all, my baby wipes are in the garage. I took them out to the, oh, you know what? Wait, nope. I have more baby wipes. I have a whole case of them in my closet. Hold that thought. You can't craft without baby wipes. Let's see. Okay. Not my baby wipes. Now we're in business. You think you might use your aura to make sandwich boards that size. So the only thing about using the aura for sandwich boards is that the sandwich board base is sized for 1/4-inch wood. So can you cut 1/4-inch wood with your aura? I don't know if you can. You probably are going to have to do numerous passes with the aura to get that to cut well, because the aura is a pretty like I think it'll fit, because the aura can cut what, 12 by 12. It'll fit in there, but now you could do it with 1/8 inch, but you would need to adjust those slots on the base to get for your wood to fit in there. Okay, so I just did that with a baby wipe and some territorial beige because I wanted it to look like wood. So I wanted to be able to see the wood grain. So I just wiped most of the paint off. And I'm going to also use a little bit of granite gray. This is all apple barrel paint. And my chip brush to distress it just a little bit. Make it look like an old wood crate. So I got some paint on my chip brush, and I'm just taking a paper towel and I'm just getting most of it off because I don't want very much on my brush, and I'm just doing this. Making sure that you hit all the edges. Okay, so that's what. Are y'all? Is your overhead camera delayed, y'all? Like, are you having it? Is it kind of like doing a weird like lagging thing on the overhead? I feel like it is on mine, but I don't know if that's happening on yours too. Hopefully not, but I can show you on the front camera too. So that's what that looks like. See, I feel like that's a better picture on that on that front camera than it is on the overhead camera. All right, so we'll let that dry. And then we're going to paint our flowers, but we don't need to paint that crate. Remember, we do need to paint the little stems that peek through. So I'm going to get my favorite leafy colors out that I've been using. It is delayed. I don't know why that's happening. I'm wondering if I go out and back in. Let me try. If I go out and back in again. Let's see. I gotta let the camera flip. All right, now let me, wait, why isn't it showing up on my screen? Oh, hold on. Enter studio. Okay, now I gotta do that. Okay, sorry. You're seeing my crazy face on there. All right, let's see what happens this time. I was tapping because it does this weird thing with the audio. See, it's still lagging. I don't know why it's doing that. I guess I'll leave it up there, but it doesn't usually do that. So I really don't know what's happening tonight. Huh. Well, I feel like it's better to have it than to not have it, just so you do have some overhead, but I'll be sure and hold up pieces. That's super annoying. The technology doesn't want to cooperate. My Wi-Fi is working fine. And this is the same way that I always go live, and I haven't had that happen before. So weird. All right, so I'm using Christmas green. I've been using these same greens for like a couple weeks now for my lives, and crisp green for my leaves. Whenever I paint leaves, I've been using these colors. And then I've been using this white because, oh, but I sealed it up again and now it's stuck. Oh my gosh. I'm going to stop sealing this sucker up so tight, y'all. Here it goes. So this is just a little Valspar paint sample that I got. I don't remember the exact shade of white, but it's just white. It's nothing like different. It's just white. And I'm going to grab a small angled brush. All right, and we're just going to kind of paint these little stems. And it doesn't matter if I'm messy and I get on the crate because this crate is not going to show. Make sure that we get these little pieces down here because they are going to show. And then off to the side, there's like a little one over here. There's just so many shadows on the overhead. Let's see. Let me try to move my ring light. And angle it down onto my table. Let's see if that helps. Of course, you're going to see the reflection of the ring light, but y'all, I don't know. Now I'm dark. Sorry. Okay. That is the best I'm going to be able to get this lighting tonight. I think it just doesn't like, it probably doesn't like these overhead lights in here at night is what it is. But it is what it is because that's all I've got. All right, just making sure I'm getting like all the leafy parts. And then also if there's, See, some of these that I'm painting are going to be covered up. So I did paint some of these unnecessarily. I always end up doing that by accident on these, but that's okay. Okay. Could probably go ahead and glue them on is what I could do. And then I know what to paint and what not to paint. Let me do that. All right, first though, I'm going to go back and I'm going to do, with my dark green, I'm going to kind of give these leaves some texture. And I know some of these are going to get covered up, but it's just easier to paint them all and not like worry about it. All right, that one's definitely getting covered up. All right, and now is when I take a little white, and I'm going to hold this up here. Let me go ahead and hold it up so you can see. I feel like I should just hold it straight up in the front because y'all can see better in the front. All right, I'm going to grab a little bit of white and just bring some light onto these leaves. It just makes it look like the sun is shining and reflecting onto these leaves, just to have a little white on them. Those are covered up. This one's not. This one's not. Okay. All right, I think that is good. Now, I'm going to go ahead and glue. Is that better? Is the lighting better? I don't know. I'm trying, y'all, with this nighttime ambient lighting. All right, so I'm making sure that lines up. Go ahead and, y'all, I'm still trying to use the last of the stick fast. The last little bit. And again, this is just so everything just has a little extra dimension. I just made a few of these flowers have a second layer. So yes, we are headed back on Wednesday. We'll be on the road, headed to Atlanta on Wednesday, and my dad and my stepmom live there. So we are going to stay with them Wednesday night, and then we'll get back to Virginia. Oh, you know what? I need to paint back behind here. That is like part of a flower before I glue that piece on. I'm glad I caught that. Okay, yeah, we need to do that. All right, so let's see. What color are we going to do our flowers. Let's see. I'm thinking I'm going to go with like a real yellow, lilac mist, and peachy pink combination. That just looks pretty to me for spring. All right, so this one, we're going to paint that one over here. First. So I'm taking some of the peachy pink and a little bit of white and just blending that in. And now I can go ahead and glue this guy on. But it probably would have been easier to paint this guy if I had done him first too. But you know what? That is okay. See, y'all need to watch this before you paint because learn from my mistakes. Oh, thank you, George. I hope you have good weather on Easter too. So it is, of course, going to be chillier in Virginia than it is in Louisiana. I've already been looking at the forecast. It's been 70s here, and I've gotten really spoiled by that nice warm weather. It was supposed to be 68 on Friday when we get into town. Well, we get into town late Thursday, but like Friday's our first full day. It's supposed to be 68. And then every day that I look, it's colder and colder and colder. So now it's down to like 59. And I'm like, no, 59 is not, that won't do. All right, I'm painting this white because I'm going to do yellow and white. If you just do a coat of white underneath it, it just makes it pop. So I'm going to put a little white on here first. And I think for the center, we will also do white because it's going to be a yellow flower. So we want the center to be like a daisy. Or no, actually daisy's the other way around. Daisy's white with a yellow. Yeah, white with a yellow. Well, we're going to make it yellow with a white. That's what I'm going to do. That's going to be pretty. I think that would be like would that be like a Gerber daisy? Is there a yellow Gerber daisy? What color is the center? Is it white or black? I don't know. Gerber daisies, do they always have black centers? Y'all have to tell me. I don't know my flowers. I'm not sure. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and take my yellow. But I want this flower to be yellow because I think that would be pretty. Should I do the middle black or white? And then I'm going back and I'm picking up a little of that white again. And just kind of doing this, kind of going out from the center. Just like that. I don't know. I can't decide, y'all. White or black? All right, I'm going to stick with white unless you tell me otherwise. All right, now I'm looking for a little teeny tiny brush, and I'm going to grab some black. And just going to be lightly go out from the center. Just like that. Okay, so that's one flower. That's what we have so far. I can't stand that overhead camera, y'all. It's driving me crazy. So the yellow flower on the end is what we have so far. That's where we're at for now. And I'm going to do some of the purple color, the lilac mist. And I'm going to get in here and try to paint this, because I should have painted it before I glued the top pieces on, but it's going to be okay. We're going to be all right. We're still going to get in here and do what we need to do. I'm grabbing a little bit of white on there as well. And we'll probably go back and do a second coat on that. I feel like that needs a second coat. So tell me how you all are spending your Easter next weekend. What are your plans? Tell me all the things while I paint flowers. Yes, the April files, they are all done. I'm just needing to get them painted. And I'm very excited. I'm not going to tell y'all what they are quite yet, but I'm very excited about them. I'm just doing some little black dots on this purple. All right, here's what we have so far, y'all. Can y'all see that? I don't know if you can see it on the overhead or not, because the overhead is being so weird. Hold on, let me let it catch up. What are you doing, overhead camera? You're not my friend tonight. First of all, the colors are not very vivid on the camera. That's annoying. And second of all, it's got this weird lag that I do not like. Penny says, no plans, staying home, no little ones. All right, I'm going to grab this purple and just go back and just kind of brighten these stems up just a little bit. They just need a little second coat here. Okay. All right, so now we're going to go on to some yellow. So we'll do white on the background for the yellow again. And again, I should have painted this before I glued the other piece on, but we will be okay. Not waiting for it to dry. I'm just going ahead and grabbing some yellow. And then I'm grabbing black again, and we're just doing just very light, little bit of black highlights. And then sometimes I'll do a little dot on the end with the black. Can you see that? Let me let the camera catch up. Just like that. And I'm kind of deciding that this purple needs a little white behind it too. So for this flower, I'm going to do white underneath. So that my purple is nice and vivid. And let's see, that'll be, I'm going to do this in yellow and then we're going to do that in pink. So go ahead and do white on here. Let's just paint it all white. Let's just do that. And then that way we'll have a nice base coat. Okay. So now I'm going to grab my purple. And I'm letting the purple mix with the white a little bit. You could use paint pens on these too. That would probably work really well on these flowers. I'm going to use paint pens on the dragonflies. Let's see, what did we say? Yellow. I love this peachy pink color. It's so pretty. So pretty. All right, and then I'm going to let this dry for a minute, and then I'm going to go back and I think I'm going to use a little bit of puffy paint. All right, so before we do our letters, I'm going to grab my chalkboard and I'm going to grab my chip brush and we're going to get some white paint on it and get another paper towel. And we're just going to very lightly go across like this to make it look like a chalkboard that has been cleaned, but not cleaned very well. Just like that. It's been erased, but not very well. And if you feel like you have too much, go back with your black again. I think I got a little too carried away. I'm going to go back with a little bit of black on my chip brush. Just darken that back up just a tad. We want our chalkboard a little bit cleaner than that. Does anybody still use chalkboards other than like stores? They don't use them in school at all, I'm sure. They have all their fancy smart boards and things. Okay, so there's our chalkboard. You can't see it very well, but it does have some distressing on it. Paper towel. All right. Okay, so I'm going to do my letters in, I think the peach color would be pretty. I'm loving that peachy pink. So I'm going to do a sponge stick with that. That's why I love sponge sticks, because I think I'm going to get away with one coat on there. Very pretty. And I did attach the eye, the dot on the eye, if you can see that, so you don't have to have a separate little piece that falls through your honeycomb tray, driving you crazy. All right, so for our dragonflies, let's do a coat of white. We'll do a sponge stick, coat of white. And then I'm going to use some paint pens. See how you can still see the score lines really well on that. So you guys, today is what, the 25th? So the end of the month is this weekend, which means you only have until Sunday to grab last year's March files for half off. So if you're new and you don't know about our monthly deal, as a member, as a club member, you can purchase past month's files. They are at the regular price for the club. However, every month we offer the corresponding month from last year for 50% off. So right now, March 2024, you can purchase the March 2023 bundle for 50% off. And the coupon code is March 2023. So you just need to go to the membership portal and log in, and then you will see under SVG Clubhouse, you will see click here to purchase past month's files, and that's where you will see them, and you'll enter the coupon code there. So that's only going to be good through Sunday because that's the last day of the month. No, Saturday. Wait, hold on. Let me look at my phone. What is the last day? Yes, Sunday, because next Monday is April 1st. All right, so we're going to do some paint pen action on those dragonflies here in just a moment. In the meantime, my ceiling fan is blowing my paper towels all over the place. I'm going to get a little bit of puffy paint, and we're going to do some accents on these little dots on our flowers. I love using puffy paint for embellishments on things. You do need to let it dry overnight. You might not need to let it dry overnight. I always do because I figure better safe than sorry. But puffy paint does take a while to set up. I'm going to do a little dot on top of these black tips here. Just little teeny dots. And then maybe just little itty bitty. I'm doing lots of puffy paint, y'all. I just think it's so cute. Just squeeze and then pull straight up. All right, and then do I have black? I don't remember if I have black puffy paint or not. I know I have red. I don't think I have black. I do, but I don't have like a fine enough tip. So I'm just going to stick with the white. Let's see. And this is Tulip Slick Fabric Dimensional Paint. Okay, I think I'm going to stop there. Not get too carried away. I will try to show y'all if the overhead camera will cooperate and not act so crazy. I'm moving it a little bit further away so y'all can see. Can you see that? Okay. Now, our dragonflies need some love. So we're going to grab our paint pens. Let me see if I can find some colors that kind of coordinate with these colors. Okay, so this color looks very similar to the peachy pink. This is coral pink. These are Posca pens. I have some of them I have fine tip and medium tip. Usually I go with the medium tip. It's just like a bit juicier, but we'll see. This purple is good to go. It's not exactly, but it's close enough. This is a light purple. It's just called, I can't even see that. It's called something purple. P purple? P like the letter P purple? I don't know. And then we've got yellow. This is just regular yellow, I think. Yep. Regular yellow. And we'll probably use a little bit of black, but I'm going to need to use my brush tip Sharpie because I have not ordered more black Posca pens. I just have not. I don't know why. All right. And then we'll probably do my trick where I take my Posca pen and I dip it in my regular paint because then I know I'm like picking up the exact shade that I want. It doesn't mess up your pen. I have not had any issues with it. And it makes it just stay nice and juicy. This purple is already like plenty juicy though. It doesn't really need me to dip it in paint. I'm just kind of going around, just spacing out my purple a little bit because we're going to mix in the other colors. This coral looks pretty good. I am dipping it in the pink, but it's pretty close. And then I'm going to grab some yellow. I can try to scooch this down, but as wonky as the camera is acting, I'm not really sure it's going to help the situation very much. And I'm not staying perfectly in the lines. I'm not stressing over it. It's supposed to be like kind of a watercolor look is what I'm going for. So it doesn't need to be perfect. Okay, so this is what I have so far, y'all. I don't know if my camera's doing the same thing as your camera, but mine is just skipping, driving me crazy. All right, that's my dragonfly. I'm going to go in with a little bit of black. Some black on the antennas. There, and let's see. I might need to wait for this paint to dry. Yeah, I probably need to wait for it to dry. All right, let me go back and fix that with my purple. I'm going to wait for that to dry a little bit, and then I might do some black highlights. But like I said, if you guys want to cut these in layers and just do one color for the top and one color for the bottom, that makes this super simple. And then you don't have to sit here and try to like stay in the lines and all of that. I just wanted to do something different and just see how it played out today. I thought it would be pretty. I kind of thought it would look like almost like stained glass window. You know what I mean? Oops, this one too. Like a dragonfly stained glass window. Thank you to whoever says cute. I can't see your name. It just says Facebook user. Okay, maybe I'll do some puffy paint on these too while I'm at it. Maybe instead of the black, we'll do puffy paint. Oh, that is cute, y'all. All right, puffy paint, I think might be the way to go on these. Now, if you have black puffy paint, that would probably be super cute. Some areas you just need little tiny dots though. That is really cute. All right, raise your hand if you're obsessed with puffy paint like me. Or comment if you have not used it before. And if you're gonna run out and buy you some. Okay, I think I might be done. But I'm not going to promise I won't put puffy paint on my letters because I'm obsessed. I can't help myself. I'm not going to close that white all the way. Actually, yes, I am, because I'm probably not going to paint again before I leave, and I don't want it to harden while I'm gone. All right, let's get everything assembled and see how this looks. All right, we have to be super careful because there's puffy paint everywhere. All right, y'all can't see the score lines, but I can. So I'm gonna line them up. I'm looking kind of back like this so I can see my score lines in the light. All right, come on, glue. You can do it. There we go. I'm just trying to figure out where these flowers are. There's a bunch right here. Okay, I think that's probably enough glue. Now, I'm gonna get this lined up. That there and that there. If you line up the flowers on the left and the flowers on the right, you'll be good. Now, this is going to hang off the bottom. It's supposed to hang off the bottom. So you're going to have to kind of hold it, find like a place to press. And I'm just going to kind of sit here and hold this for a second because y'all know this glue dries pretty quick. But once it gets old, it doesn't dry as fast. And mine's very old. Well, it's not very old, but it's getting towards the bottom of the bottle. Okay, hopefully that will stay. Now let's do our letters. Our high and there. You can put this on your letters instead of on the backer, but I don't know. Sometimes I like doing it this way. All right. Find yourself two spots, one on the right and one on the left, to like line everything up. All right, so then the big one goes here. And they're going to hang off as well. That's supposed to be like that. Okay, so we have it all put together. Super cute. I'm so excited about this. But now, I don't want to lift this up and try to put it in my sandwich board yet because it has got to dry. So I can try to like hold it in front of the board, but I'm not really sure I'm going to try to pop it in there all the way. Let's see. Let's see how that goes. We got a lot of things that need to set here. All right, I'll try to get it in there without it falling apart. Oh, come on. Behave yourself. Oh, almost got it. Almost got it, y'all. I think it's in there. Yep. Okay, we got it. There we go. We did it. Did I get a little? Oh, I got a little. That's okay. That just looks like chalk. I'll turn it around so y'all can see it. All right, we did it, y'all. There we go. Super cute. I love this one. I love a little crate on the bottom. I just think that's so cute. All right, so that is our project for this month. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And stay tuned because we've got lots of fun things coming. And be sure and grab your sale files, your March 2023 for half off before the end of the month. And you can see what those are if you go to the featured tab in the Facebook group and scroll down. You'll see the bundle. I think is that the strawberry bundle? I'm pretty sure that's the strawberry bundle. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's what it is. Okay. Thank y'all so much for joining me, and I will see y'all soon. Have a great week. Bye.